You know, I think people forget what idolatry is. Basically, it's anything that takes the place of God in your heart. You're not putting God first, and that could be so many things. Like I said before, God gives you free will. Man wants to control you. It comes down to Satan. Satan wants to control you like cattle, like you're an animal. You're not an animal. You were created in the image of God. That's why the devil hates you so much. That's why the devil comes out and gives you these great big speeches, these great swelling words. Oh, you're so great, you're so wonderful, you're self made. I've done all this on my own. I didn't need any help. I'm wonderful. Just like when people pray. God already knows what's going on in your life. All you got to do is ask Him. Real simple. It's just ask Him. You don't tell God, you ask Him. God's already made you promises. But people don't want to believe that. They think you have to get there and say all these great things and have this long 2 hour long prayer and blah blah. I've listened to it. I've listened to it on these stupid evangelists and these pastors and preachers and stuff. They're so full of shit. There is a hell, people, and you don't want to go there. God don't want you to go there either. So He'll probably extend the days of grace for as long as He sees fit. And then all of a sudden, when He says, it's getting so bad down here, there's more evil than there is good, yeah, it's time for me to pull out and just let it all fall apart. I'll be back, and I'll end it. But they wanted this, I'll give it to them. You didn't want to listen to me. You didn't want to abide by my commandments. You didn't want to treat each other like brothers and sisters, and you wanted to be thieves and whoremongers and the whole 9 yards. So I'll give it to you. I'll just let you go, and I'll let you do it. I'll let you self-destruct. And then if there's any out there that after they've done this for a while, they go, man, this isn't working out too good for me. They had to change their heart. They repented all of a sudden. They hit their low. They're looking around. Common sense came back to them for some reason. God's Spirit might have sparked inside of them. That little flicker of a light, and all of a sudden, man, God goes, well, there's another one that's been saved. Because I let it get so bad that they actually realize something. I'm not a myth. I always thought it was interesting. People sit back and they just want this, want that. They don't think about anybody they're possibly harming or hurting. Got to make that money. I'm not saying you don't need it. I'm just saying there's ways to do it and do it properly without harming other people in the process. This system we live in is an unsustainable system, was from the very beginning. The devil knew it. He's been working his craft for a long, long time. He got a handful of Satanists together, and all of a sudden they go, yep, and they pass this. And there's even a debate whether it was even past the Federal Reserve. I mean, they did it in the middle of the night on Christmas or some holiday, and boom, it's like, well, next thing you know, you had it. God works out in the light. He lets you know. He lets you see. Devil works in the background, in the darkness. It's like a bunch of cockroaches. You shine the light on them and they scamper. So when it gets so bad, there's a point when God's just going to pull out. So, with that said, prepare for it. I mean, I don't think you need me to sit here and tell you, oh gosh, the 10 items you better get before the end of the week. Oh gosh, before we don't have it, it's going to be this huge shortage of this. It's going to be that. Oh, get this before get that. Oh, hurry, hurry. Click on my video, click on my video, click on my video. There's nothing wrong with clicking on the video. But quit being a moron. Oh, God told me this. God inspired me to say this. God said, you know, we're not worth talking to. I'm not worth talking to. You know, all I am is a big sinner, a heathen. I'm not better than anyone at all. And that's the problem. Jesus was. But did we listen to him? No, we wanted to kill him. His disciples, apostles, what did we do? That wanted to kill them too. And we did. What's going to happen to people that say anything about God or God is, you know, he created the universe, people. He is. I am. The beginning of the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He's the all-omnipotent power. But you're not supposed to say that. So the devil's going to lie to you and say, oh, you know, all you got to do is believe in Jesus and you'll go to heaven. Okay, yeah, true. But you're going to be judged on your works. They'll know you by your works, by your deeds. Got to be people out there with their great big prayers going, oh, yeah, big swelling words and how great God is and all this and that, wonderful, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to be upset when Jesus looks at them and says, I don't know you. But Jesus, we did all these, we said all these great wonderful things about you, and we had some drives and we raised a little money and blah blah blah. He goes, yeah, and what did you do? You stole half the money if you didn't steal it all. You said all these wonderful things, but you're out here doing this and this and this. You weren't following my word, my commandments. You weren't doing my will. There's going to be a lot of angry people. because the devil tricked them. He fooled them. That's what he is. He's a trickster, deceiver, an illusionist. It's all short term with him. Short term. Pleasure, short term. Clothes, cars, everything short term. God's plan is long term. Eternity. Why do you think you're here? You've heard me say it 1,000 times. Well, maybe not 1,000, but you've heard me say it. Do God's will. Treat thy neighbor as thyself. Love one another. Be charitable. Help. Don't cheat, don't lie, do adultery, all that stuff. I mean, there's a whole list of things. There's 10 of them. A few more, but there's 10 of them. And people, they don't want to listen to that. Why do you think you're here? Do you think you're being tested? Do you think sometimes when the devil walks into your life, you're being tested to see if you're going to do the wrong or right thing? Like Job? Job never once cursed Jesus, never once cursed God. Jesus, do what you want with Job. Go ahead. Boy, the devil took it to him. At the end of it all, well, Job, you did a good job, God says. And your cup, it runneth over. I restored what you had and done some. Good job. Is that going to be you? Is that going to be me? When things start getting tough, we're just going to go, oh. Or we're going to stand tight, stand tall. Say, bring it on. You're going to be my footstool at the end of it all. Do what you will. God doesn't like a coward. Doesn't like them. And you're not cowards. There's nothing to be afraid of. Even though you walk through the shadow, the valley of death, or something. My mind. Valley of the shadow of death. Yeah. I saw some clips of Biden in 19, I think it was, and he was actually, you could tell, he was a little slow. He was at the beginning of his Alzheimer's dementia stuff, but I mean, he was still could form sentences and he could make sense of it all. Now he has really deteriorated a lot. That's what it does to you. Unfortunately, hopefully none of you will find it out. And you don't even know it's happening. So, now since I've depressed you, hopefully I didn't. Because it's one of those things where it's terrible to lose your mind. God won't hold that against you, though. The funny thing is this. For all the probably, and this is what we hear on the news and blah, 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 how the crime syndicate, Biden crime syndicate, and all this and that, and the lies, and all the crap this guy's done in his whole life. He may actually get a pass into heaven because he's lost his mind. He can't repent. He doesn't know how. He doesn't have the capacity anymore. He's like a little child that's losing, he's just trying to learn and grow, but he's going the opposite direction. So don't be surprised if you don't see him in heaven. Why? You'd have to ask God that question, wouldn't you? Hopefully you'll get there to be able to ask. A lot of people, they that one famous question: if you could go back and visit anybody you wanted in all of history, who would it be? Of course, it's some basketball, not basketball, but some sports celebrity, some singer, some actress, or something like that. How many people say you'd like to go back and visit with Jesus Christ? At least be able to walk with him for a day, listen to him and watch him, see him, actually experience it. That would be the highlight of your life. Anyone's. Anyways, y'all folks take care. And hopefully we'll talk to you again and you'll all be in good health and life's treating you well. And yeah.